Hey guys, thanks for hanging tight here on the KSL Stream Center here. We wanted to jump on real briefly here. We are still efforting UHP to join us live here in the KSL Stream Center. But for those of you who've been watching, I see some questions saying, well, what happened? We had a wrong way driver on I15. This was northbound in the Lehi area this morning. And the result of that was a very serious crash that unfolded. We had at least 5 different vehicles involved. You can see here one that was engulfed in flames at one point. We know that everyone survived these crashes at this point. We have got multiple injuries. We had 3 injured, all non-life threatening injuries, but when we say that, you got to take into account we don't know the full extent of those injuries. And so right now, 5 different vehicles involved. We have couple lanes. Well, first the freeway was shut down for some time as they tried to figure out what on earth happened here. But now we've got 2 lanes that are open for northbound traffic. We've got 1 lane and then the HOV lane. And so you can see this is that traffic that is getting through in the area. We do have backups. I had Kara Bracken, who is our reporter there at the scene. She joined us a short time ago. She said delays are about 15 minutes. That could fluctuate as we get more traffic into the commute this morning. Hopefully, things start to get cleaned up in that area and we get more of those lanes open, but we'll keep you posted on that. But this was certainly a serious crash. Kara mentioned to us that they are investigating this as possibly a crash involving drugs or alcohol with the wrong way driver. We know it is a female in her 30s, but that's about the extent in terms of what we know about that driver. So we've got, we're working on UHP joining us here in the Stream Center live. So we're gonna hop off just for a few minutes. I just wanted to make sure those of you who are following along with our stream right now were aware of what we were trying to do behind the scenes as you're looking at the video that's been playing through of that vehicle that was on fire, as you're looking at the traffic through that area. Again, northbound I-15, think about the Lehi Main Street area. That's kind of where the backup starts, and it's in that section where we had this wrong way crash this morning. But there was a lot of debris, as you can see from this video, on the freeway. There's going to be an extensive investigation in terms of UHP mapping this out, figuring out where this driver made that U-turn, what happened here, that all the different vehicles involved. So hang tight. Give us just a few more minutes here. We have had a conversation with UHP. They are trying to get their trooper, who is currently investigating this crash, on the line with us, and we expect that trooper to join us any minute here. So as soon as they are, they've been able to join, we've tested that audio, we'll come right back to you and ask those questions that you may have in terms of what happened with this crash, how is this investigation going to go, and what's going to happen with the traffic this morning as we continue on. So hang tight. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Okay, wanted to jump on again and give you an update on our situation here. This is our wrong-way crash that has occurred on I15. We've got some new information. As you can first of all see here, traffic is starting to clear out in that area and get through, which is the good news, but there is still that investigation that's happening. You've been seeing some of these photos that have been coming in. We've got a few that came from the Lehi Fire Department. We're also getting some photos that have come through from Utah Highway Patrol. I want to walk you through what happened out there today. This is northbound I-15 in Lehi near the Main Street exit. We heard from Agent Tara Stump today, and what happened was we had a white Charger that was initially headed northbound on I-15, and according to Agent Stump, sideswiped another vehicle, then pulled off to the shoulder and made a U-turn on I-15 in an attempt to flee that crash. The Charger then struck two other vehicles essentially head on as they were going, as the Charger was going the wrong direction on the freeway. The Charger is the one that then burst into flames, and that's what you're seeing as you see these photos here. And we've actually got some video from viewers that have been sent in as they pass the crash scene, this vehicle on fire. Now, I do want to tell you the driver of that vehicle, of the Charger, a female in her 30s, was pulled from that vehicle, taken to a hospital, we're told by UHP, with non-life-threatening injuries. But let me back up to that moment there. We then had a semi that was coming into that scene and swerved to avoid hitting that Charger that was on fire and struck another vehicle. So now we're at a total of 5 vehicles involved in this situation. We know that multiple people were taken to hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries from those other vehicles. We're still efforting, trying to get that information as to how those folks are doing, those drivers are doing. But we know multiple people taken to the hospital as a result of this crash. We also learned from news specialist Kara Bracken, who is there on scene, and she'll be coming up on KSL 5 News at noon with a report of everything that has happened down there. But she tells us that UHP is investigating that 30-year-old-ish driver, that female driver, as possibly being under the influence of drugs or alcohol, and that possibly played a factor into this crash. So again, for those of you who have been watching on our Facebook stream, we appreciate you following along. I know we've been trying to effort some other interviews here, but we understand that the trooper we were trying to talk to is at the hospital with the driver from the Charger involved in this crash and is working on that situation there. But we did get that information to provide to you in terms of what unfolded here this morning in Lehi. Again, this initially started with northbound I-15 and a vehicle that was sideswiped. The Charger then made a U-turn on I-15 and almost directly head-on hit several other vehicles. So we're going to let you go on this stream. We appreciate you joining us. We're going to bounce over to KSL 5 News at noon. Again, that's where we'll have Kara Bracken joining us live from the scene in Lehi. But as we hear from UHP, we'll certainly update you. Glad to hear that we've had no fatalities involved in this crash, at least at this point that we're aware of. Everyone involved has been taken to hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries. That's what's being reported to us from UHP, but certainly caused quite the scene there in Lehi. Now we've got an investigation happening. So if you're traveling through there, please, or if you have plans to, make sure you take it slow. We've got a lot of different investigators out on the scene trying to map out what exactly happened here and get to the bottom of this investigation. So again, Shara Park here in the KSL Stream Center. Thanks for joining us. We're going to go ahead and end this stream for you today, but please join us on KSL 5 News at noon for the very latest. I'm just going to let her know.